Christmas Eve 2000, just after midnight, Sophia Uloa, a young mom, just returned home from last-minute Christmas shopping when she was stabbed multiple times near her car.
I've held on for 11 years, going on 11 years, and I still mourn over my daughter, and it's something that you don't forget. I come out here and I decorate her tree. I call this Sophia's tree because this is where she was murdered at. And Sophia was standing behind her car in the street, holding herself like on the side and pointing down the street, go get him, call 911, I've been stabbed.
Tonight in JVM's Most Wanted, a 20-year-old beautiful single mom stabbed to death right outside her apartment Christmas Eve. Her killer or killers still on the loose. Sophia Uloa went out to do last-minute Christmas shopping on December 23rd, 2000. That's right, almost 12 years ago, to buy her then 4-year-old daughter a scooter. When Sophia got home, around 1 in the morning, Christmas Eve, she was unloading her gifts from her car when her mother heard a blood-curdling scream.
Sophia was standing behind her car in the street, holding herself like on the side and pointing down the street, go get him, call 911, I've been stabbed. Instead of running to Sophia to ask her questions, I ran back in the house to call 911.
We are honored to have Tina Montoya, the mother of the murdered woman, with us tonight. Tina, our hearts go out to you. We know this is hellish. What have these 11 and a half years been like for you as you still look for your daughter's killer?
It's still the same. Nothing's changed. The feelings haven't changed. And as of this day, I wish I knew who murdered my daughter. And I have my moments to where, I do still cry for Sophia, and everybody misses her. Her daughter misses her.
What happened that night? What did you hear?
I was asleep because both of us had to work the next day, and I heard Sophia. Well, actually, I didn't know it was her, but we heard screaming outside, and when we ran outside, Sophia was standing behind her car and pointing down the street for us to call 911 that she'd been stabbed to get help. So what I did is I ran back in the house to get the phone because I had a cordless phone so I could go out there and be with her. But I didn't know, I couldn't find the cordless phone, so I still had a phone where I could dial out. And I was talking to the dispatcher, and she told me to stay in the house. And then I kept pleading for them to send somebody out there because my daughter had been stabbed. And I told 911 to hold on a minute. And when I went back out there, she was laying behind her car. And I ran back in the house and kept pleading for them to send somebody out there.
I know that's so difficult for you, and thank you for sharing that painful story. Detective Ed Rodriguez, you have vowed to find this killer. You apparently watched this beautiful young woman die. You report that there were 2 men seen fleeing the scene in a dark-colored vehicle. Why would somebody want to do this?
Well, I mean, it could be for a variety of reasons. Sophia was a very popular young woman. Unfortunately, like other young kids, she was involved in some things that maybe she shouldn't have been involved in, specifically drugs and boyfriends who were involved in drugs and gangs. So it's complicated in that it can go in different directions, complicated in the people that her circle of friends were people that haven't been very cooperative. So that's what's been very troubling about the case is people just haven't been very forthcoming with the truth.
Well, John Lieberman, we know young women, beautiful young women, often get the word they're not doing anything wrong, but sometimes their boyfriends are.
Right. Regardless of what she was doing, she didn't deserve this fate. And, Tina asked me, Tina said, please don't forget. And Ed Rodriguez, who was in the hospital room that night and basically saw Tina die, he vowed in the hospital that night not to forget. There are too many cold cases out there that aren't solved. Too many moms like Tina Montoya. That family needs justice, and somebody out there has the information that can help Ed crack this case. Ed works hundreds of cases, but he's a little too humble to tell you he won't forget this one. Tina needs justice.
John Lieberman, thank you for bringing us this story. We appreciate it. And Tina, our hearts are with you. If we could see you one more time, want to tell you that we want to do everything we can, and often these stories, as short as they are, result in leads. Somebody knows something. If you're watching, end this woman's nightmare and call investigators.